So the number one question people ask me is how I was able to build a network of referral partners all across the nation. I have people in almost all states out there sending me business. Some of them I've never met before. And so a few years ago, I retraced my steps and I developed this 5-step blueprint. And I started sharing it with, hundreds of agents, and something embarrassing happened. I realized that my formula didn't work for everyone. And so I started brainstorming, why doesn't it work for everyone? It worked for me. And there was a light bulb moment, this aha, there was one thing I forgot in the formula. It is that you need to make yourself magnetic, because here's the deal. You can go through all the steps, but if people don't like you, they're just not gonna send you business. And so the book that I wrote, there's 9 chapters in there, all about ways to make you magnetic. And today we have time for 4. And I'm super excited because I built this GPT just for this audience right here, that at the end of the workshop, you're gonna get a blueprint specifically for you. And if you follow that blueprint, you're gonna be more magnetic and memorable. So let's begin. What's a magnet? A magnet is a material or object that produces an invisible magnetic field that can attract other materials or objects. So the really cool news is, guess what? People can be magnetic too. So if an inanimate object can be magnetic, so can you. And I'm gonna help you with that today. So being magnetic, it'll draw people to you. Professionals will want to send you business. People will want to partner with you. Agents will want you as their mentor if you're trying to recruit, or if this is kind of a big deal, but it's really hard to find good work right now. Has anyone experienced that? If you're magnetic, you're going to attract more higher quality potential employees. So the first thing is being interesting. Okay, why should we be interesting? Well, Galen Hendricks has this quote that stuck with me. She says, "People won't be interested unless you're interesting." And so when I started researching this, I didn't think I was a very interesting person, so I spent a lot of time studying interesting people in my life. And one of the most interesting person in my life is my husband. And my husband, and I developed this formula. There is a formula on how to be interesting. The first thing is, interesting people, they don't just dabble in stuff. They geek out. So if they're interested in something, they will just jump full in, okay? So my husband's like that, and I'll give you a few examples. A few years ago, he started collecting board games. And it started right before COVID, and then within 6 months, this was our collection, okay? So it was cool because during COVID, when we were on lockdown, we literally played a new board game every single day. And that, all the Nintendo systems, well, interesting story, we actually met at my yard sale. He bought a bunch of video games from me, and so I always joked that after we got married, that I inherited all this junk back that he bought from me. And he's also a beekeeper. And so when he became a beekeeper, he watched hundreds of videos, just obsessed over bees. When we were driving along the fields, he started noticing all the flowers that I didn't notice. And the really cool thing is people always want to talk about bees. So people are always asking Chris questions about that. And a few years ago, he started a beard collection. He started taking pictures with people with beards and met all sorts of interesting people. This one guy, he lived in a tent for 30 years, and then another guy tried to recruit him for a Civil War reenactment. So the point is that there is, we all have things that we can geek out on. And I don't know if you know this, but geeks are all the rage right now, and the nerds are really hot. So be interested in stuff. If you're kind of wondering, like, well, I'm not really interested in that stuff, like something, you're gonna feed your mind. So you're gonna watch, sorry, Dr. King, watch YouTube videos on things that you are interested in, listen to podcasts, read articles, read books, and interview people. When you meet someone, you're gonna quickly realize if you listen long enough that they have a really interesting story to share. And hang out with interesting people because you can borrow materials from them. So right now, so that's number one. Number two, interesting people are authentic and genuine. And what is the difference? So authentic people are basically true to themselves, and they are comfortable in their own skin, and they don't try to people please. And when you think about authentic artifacts, how they value it is that there's only an original and it's not imitated. Well, people are the same way. We all have our own unique interests, our experiences, and things that we've gone through that makes us no different or very different from other people. And I was talking to Dr. King last night, and he pointed out, like, hey, if you committed a crime, they fingerprint you because there's only one of you. Being genuine has to do with how people relate to you. So what they see is what they get, and there's no ulterior motives, and people view you as trustworthy. And people can spot someone who's disingenuous from a mile away. And then the last equation is that to become known as an interesting person, you have to be willing to share. So you could be the most interesting person in the world, but if people don't know, then you won't be known as an interesting person. So when you're talking to people, share facts that you know, do videos. Videos is one that I struggle with because I hate doing video, but I'm gonna work on that. And post on Facebook, which we're gonna talk about social media here in a little bit. But right now we're gonna start with our first assignment here. Everybody has their worksheet, so we're gonna uncover what makes you interesting. So you're gonna go through module 1 and just answer to the best of your ability. Nate's gonna play a little bit of music. I originally thought that we would have 5 minutes, but I'm trying to shorten it so that we can finish on time. So go ahead, Nate.
Yesterday is a wrinkle on your forehead.
I forgot we were gonna do 3 minutes.
Yesterday is a promise that you've broken. Don't close your eyes. Don't close your eyes. This is your life, and today is all you got now. And today is all you'll ever have. Don't close your eyes. Don't close your eyes. This is your life. Are you hungry This is your life. Are you who you wanna be? Are you who you wanna be?
Thank you, Nate. All right, so the next thing we're going to work on is, oops, don't look at that. Okay, so charisma. We're going to work on charisma. So I did a lot of research on charisma, and I was really encouraged to find that contrary to what most people believe, charisma is not something that you are just born with. A lot of the influencers that you see online today, they basically have said that they were once awkward and unpolished. So I believe that charisma is something that you can build and develop over time, and that was encouraging to me. And so one of my favorite authors, Vanessa Van Edwards, she has this formula. Charisma is basically the perfect balance between competence and warmth. And if you lack charisma, it's because there's an imbalance there. So if you're really super competent, but you're not very warm, then people are gonna find you intimidating. On the other hand, if you're super warm, but not showing competence, people won't take you seriously. And so the charisma zone right there is the perfect balance between the two. So what I normally tell people to do is if you want to figure out where you are on your charisma zone, what you would do is just Google words that describe competence or describe warmth. But the cool thing is it's in your worksheet. So what I'm going to do here, we'll talk about that here in a minute. But I'm going to have you guys, this one won't take long. It'll just literally be a minute. There's a bunch of adjectives, and I want you to circle all the ones that people have described you or what you think people, perceive you as, okay? So Nate, hit it. We have 1 minute, okay? We're doing module 2 right now.
Can keep my hands on myself. Pick out dust them off, put them back up on the shelf. Kiss my little baby girl is in need. Am I coming out of left field? Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks. I've been feeling it since 1966 now. Might be over now, but I feel it still. Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks now. Let me kick it like it's 1986 now. Might be over now, but I feel it still. Got another mouth to feed. Leave it with the babies till the mama call the grave digger. Gone with the falling leaves. Am I coming out of left field? Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks now. I've been feeling it since 1966 now. Might have had your fill, but I feel it still. Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks now.
All right, thanks, Nate. Okay, so basically, and at the end, when you get the blueprint, it's going to tell you where you're at and make recommendations. But in general, if you want to show a little bit more warmth, then you're going to do things like smile more, work on encouraging people, making eye contact when you speak to people, working on your body language and your verbal, like how you say things. And if you want to work on competence, your competence cues, then you're going to do things like share your knowledge. You're going to show up prepared, and you're going to help problem solve and communicate effectively. That is a skill, communication skills. Maintain posture. This is something I got to work on, but those are all things that when you work on those, it'll help with your warmth or competence. All right, so work on your cues to strike a balance of the two, and as your charisma grows, so will your magnetic appeal. Oops. Okay, so number 3, digital allure. This means social media. For some reason, I get a lot of pushback when I talk about social media. Now, this is the one I personally struggle with the most because I always thought that self-attention seeking is a really bad thing. But then I heard Coach Michael Burt say, hey, it's not the best product that wins, it's the best marketed product. And we are the product, so we have to market ourselves, right? And put ourselves out there. And I will tell you this, my business would not be where it is today if it wasn't for social media. And the whole idea is that you're trying to build your know, like, trust factor. A lot of times, if you are friends with me on Facebook, you're gonna notice that I rarely talk about my business at all. But mainly, I post things that keep me at the present and on top of mind so that when someone needs insurance, I am the person they go to. So you want to do it also because it makes you seem more accessible and you can connect with people where they are. Most people spend time on social media. And also you're going to demonstrate your personality and ways of working. So these are the things that people pay attention to. So when you're posting things on Facebook and you want people to pay attention to you, these are the things that you want to post. So people pay attention to things that make us laugh, make us think, solve our problems, surprise us, make us feel understood, inspire us, and take us behind the scenes. So I do have a whole chapter in my book on more ways to do that. But there's some other tips I want to share with you, okay? This is something I didn't know, but I should have known this a long time ago. But Facebook doesn't like links that take users off their platform. So when you post something on Facebook, don't put the link in the original post. So that's why you're seeing people say, okay, links in the comments. So make sure you remember that when you're posting links to things. Also learn the power of storytelling. So storytelling, the formula is that it is fact. So usually when you're telling a story, it's got to have substance, right? So it's going to be based on a fact, wrapped in emotion that compels people to take action. So when you're telling someone a story, you want to move them to do something, right? Like maybe click on your website or buy, book an appointment with you or whatever. So if you save somebody money, like say you save someone $900 a year on medication, then instead of just saying, well, I saved a couple $900 a year, tell them, hey, I saved a couple $900 a year, and they decided to use that money to do this, right? The 80-20 rule is where you, and Diani did an amazing job. She did so awesome talking a little bit about this, but you're not gonna spend all your time talking about products that you sell because then people don't really like to be sold to. And then also your profile should be contact friendly. Have a real profile picture in there because a lot of times I'll look someone up and I'll say, is this who it is? It's just like a picture of a frog or something. And I'm like, what? So make sure you have your profile picture. And then also if I want to send, I don't know how many times this happens to you, but it happens to me all the time where I want to send somebody business, but when I pull up their profile, I can't even find their phone number or email or anything like that. So make it easy for people to send business your way. Okay, so we're gonna do a quick social media audit, and we're gonna have a few minutes. Nate's gonna play some music, and this one we're gonna do 3 minutes. And yeah, thank you, Nate.
I know a secret garden. It's hidden deep inside my head. My head just safely guarded, shut tight except in bed. I used to ward of others. I used to keep it buttoned up. But now that I have met you, I think it's time to stop. So if you follow me, I'll take you there. I will guide you through my mind. But don't betray my trust or confidence. Be careful, please be kind. My mind is all I got these days. If I don't open up, back up and look the other way, you know my mind is all I got these days. If I don't open up, back up and try another day, another time. You're not supposed to read it, nor try to change or make it up for me. I hope that once you've seen it, your kindness sets me free. And even though I trust you, forgive me for I've closed the door before. Come in 'cause I would love to. I've never been so sure. So if you follow me, I'll take you there. I will guide you through my mind. But don't betray my trust or confidence. Be careful, please be kind. My mind is all I got these days. If I don't open up, back up and look the other way.
All right, we gotta move on. Thanks, Nate. Okay, so the last one is the contrasting characteristics. I talked a little bit about this yesterday, but again, just a reminder, our brain works like a computer, and when we meet someone, we naturally tend to file them away, like in different categories. But if someone doesn't quite fit in a file, like a box, they stand out in your mind. And the thing is, everybody is naturally born with contrasting characteristics. It's just over time, we just subdue some of it to fit in. And so here's a few examples of celebrities that we all know that really stand out. So Keanu Reeves, he's competent and he's down to earth, he's humble. He actually trains, he does 90% of his stunts, and he trained with, like the US Navy SEALs. So he's very well respected. Now, Dolly Parton, she's sweet and sassy, right? And Mr. Rogers, he's humble but yet confident. And here's another illustration too. Do you remember Martha Stewart when she went to jail? Well, people thought that was like the end of her career. But when she got out, she formed this really unlikely friendship with Snoop Dogg. Do you remember that? And because of the contrasting, like the huge contrast, it stood out. So we're gonna go over your characteristics. This won't take long. We gotta make this fast. So let's do 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes, Nate. So that's module 4, and then.
Sing it back to me now.
Two hearts in a billion, wanna fall into ya, make me wanna shout it out like a hallelujah. 'Cause times like these don't come and go. But two hearts in a billion, singing hallelujah. Hey, there's something in the air tonight, way up in the blaze of gold. Hey, there's something in the air tonight. Say I feel it in the sky above, and way down in the waves below. Hey, I feel it in the sky above. Why don't we call it love? Sing it back to me, sing it back to me now. Why don't we call it love, call it love? Sing it back to me, sing it back to me now. Why don't we call it love, call it love? Why don't we call it love, call it love?
Okay, sorry if I'm going really fast. I was trying to squeeze this in to a short time. We're gonna get through it. Okay, oops, here we go. Oh, so here's the instructions, okay? Now, I'm gonna have you take a picture of each page. And if you have a free version of ChatGPT, you actually only have one shot at this today. Because free version, you only can upload 2 pictures. That's why I had to squeeze it all in 2 pages. And I'm gonna go ahead, so take a picture, 1 picture of each page, and then I want you to scan this QR code. You're gonna log into your ChatGPT. Right, here we go. You're gonna log into your GPT, and there's 2 versions. One is a paid, one is if you have the paid version, which I highly recommend if on your way home from the airport, you want a more in-depth, the full version is the way to go. I built a GPT for both. But for time's sake, I'm doing the free version. So when you get to my GPT, you're gonna click on free version, and all you have to do is upload those 2 photos. Remember, you only get the 2 photos, and it will spit out your blueprint. Okay? 5 minutes? What? Right now. Yeah. Yup. Well, just scan it and open it and log in, and then you're gonna upload the 2 photos. And then hit enter. And by the way, I will probably share this GPT or this thing later. If for some reason it doesn't work out right now and we're running out of time, then you could upload it later, okay? Yeah, sign in to ChatGPT, upload those 2 pictures, and then you'll get a blueprint. All right, so I'm gonna go back and then I'm wrapping up now. So you're gonna get this blueprint, and it's uniquely just for you. Hang on here. Nope, you don't have to say anything. You just have to upload it. It already knows what you want or what you need. All right, so I'm closing now. In conclusion, okay, so something really, what? I will be sending the QR code out. I'm sorry we ran out of time, but I'm gonna close here. So when I was doing research, I initially was writing my book, I was thinking, oh, I can help people become magnetic, like metaphorically. But when I did my research, I realized that humans actually produce an electromagnetic field that can be felt within 3 feet. When I looked into it, it actually, you legit can be magnetic, which I found was very validating. And once you get your blueprint, was anyone successful in getting their blueprint? Okay, awesome. So the blueprint, just so you know, is uniquely yours. I asked ChatGPT, hey, what's the likelihood that people are gonna have the same blueprint? And it said like 1 in 4 million. So no one else has your blueprint. And what you decide to do with it is up to you. And I know that when I tested out my GPT on myself, I looked at the blueprint and I was like, man, that's kind of scary to do all these things. But remember what I taught you yesterday? To feel the fear and do it anyways. So I really feel that if you push through, past all those fears, and you follow the blueprint, you're gonna be unstoppable. So thank you, and let me know if you have any questions.